Welcome one and all to this 7th episode of D Another D with me, Mike.
Lilith.
And she just pointed out to me that this is a problem. This should read something else. And I was discussing a thing that we're going to have to translate this game into Italian for her grandparents. So I'm kind of wondering whether we should do that now or not. And whether we should do it manually or not. But at this point, I suppose we could. Because the game is not going to have too much text anyway. So first, let's worry about that menu. So let's just write some English text in there that makes sense for now. And then we'll see. So BG, button, start text. And here just type start with a capital S. And now it should say start. And you click it and then you start. Right? Now let's go and create this menu concept. Right? So we've talked about this, but for our audience, let's give them an idea what it is that we want to do. So I'm going to open GIMP. And we're going to use this as our visual prototyping tool. So 1920, 1080. This is the ratio we're going for. And we're gonna have we're gonna have one box over here. In this box there will be a picture, the picture in question, and then there will be 3 buttons for small, medium, and large, like this. Then there will be stars in those buttons, as in how many medals did you get for each of them. And we're gonna put 6 or maybe 5, I don't know, but a number like this. Probably 6, just because it's easier. In this case, I've just put 5, but whatever. So here, and then here, and then here. And then there will be a button down, well, not a button, but text here that says page 1 out of 7 or whatever. And then a button with either a lock on it or an arrow on it to go next. And this button, whether if it needs to appear there or not, we'll see, right? And then there needs to be a button up here to exit the game, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and maybe there could be a button over here with a question mark to open the credits or something like that. And then perhaps some text up here that says menu. Main menu, something like that, right? So you can clearly see we've got a top of the screen that's subdivided in 3 parts, a middle of the screen that contains all of our puzzles, and a bottom of the screen that's also subdivided in 3 parts. Okay, so this is what we got to build now. So if we go to the menu screen and zoom out here a bit, you can hide the title and hide the gameplay. We don't need to see them. We do need to see the menu. So we're gonna need a BG just like this one. So let's hit Control D on this BG and drag it into the menu. All right, so the menu now looks the same as the other one. That's okay. BG, text title, kinda right, but we're gonna create parents. So we're gonna create an empty, and I want you to call this one top with a capital T. Hit enter. Now duplicate it twice. And this one middle. And then bottom. So we got top, middle, and bottom, which at the moment are empty. And we're gonna drag the title into the top. The pick for the title in here, which is wrong, but that's okay. And then a button, we're probably gonna put on the top. And now all of this is kind of wrong, but that's okay. All we need to do is just go Alt and Shift in this, and this will work. Then we're gonna do Alt and Shift in this. This should work too. Alt and Shift this, and this should work. And the bottom is empty. So for some reason, this button is all crazy. Oh, there you go. That's much better. It's still all wrong, but that's okay. I'm not too worried. Now all of these have, actually not all of these, but the button should. Yeah, it's got a layout element. We're going to leave that on. Does the pic have a layout element? It doesn't look like it. Okay, that sounds good. We'll worry about the pictures later. So let's start with this. First of all, the top will have a horizontal layout group, width and height. And for some reason everything's very narrow. That's not sure. I'm not sure I'm clear with this. Aha, because this BG is not controlling the width. That's much better. Now duplicate this button over here. We're gonna drag it here up the top, and we're gonna call this one button credits with a capital C. Credits. And this one we're gonna call button quit. Yep, hit enter. Okay, now I just remembered something. Our buttons are normally selected using this menu here. I think it would be, because we may want buttons to select in different ways and have different colors themselves, I think it'd be much better if we move this information into the button itself. So let's go and edit the code. So we're going to open Visual Studio. I remember the colors more or less, so it shouldn't be a problem. And even if I don't, that's okay. We're gonna modify them. Who cares? So I think it's in Game Manager. There they are. Okay, so cut these two. Control X. And place them in the custom button. I suppose here. Oh, you hit Control C, potato. Come on. Now we got this problem that we need to go over there and do this. There, Control C. At least pay attention to the keys you're using, right? Control X, banana. Control X. Yes, cut. I know I said Control C, my fault, but you can think. Control V now. All right. Save. Save. Okay, so we got these. Now it's complaining. It's going like, hey, I don't know where these are. Well, that's okay. All we need to do is remove this because they're now here. So save. All right, now let's go and quickly modify all of the buttons simultaneously. There, they should all now have selection colors and text colors, and there should be 3. So the first selection color was a certain blue, some kind of mild blue, which then turns into a stronger blue when selected.
No, it was a lighter blue.
No, when highlighted it was definitely stronger. So we're gonna put a color that's very close to white, but not quite. Let's see them now. Yeah, that's it. That's not bad. Okay, so the button's working. Now we need to work on these buttons over here. So these both need to be very small, but also what's important is that the top and the bottom are small as well. So how small is the button start? It's got a minimum height of 100. Okay, so we're gonna take the top and the bottom, and we are gonna give them a layout element with a minimum height of 100. And then the middle, we're gonna give it a layout element with a preferred height of 10,000, which basically means take as much room as you can. So that's already starting to look correct. Now we also need to manage these. So both of these should have a layout element, which instead of minimum height is going to have a minimum width of, say, 50. Let's try 50. Let's try 100. So we're going to get an actual square. And now the text title should have a layout element that is also a preferred width of 10,000, whatever. And so you can see how this is taking as much room as possible. And this one is going to be called test text menu, and you can call it menu, type menu with capital M, or main menu actually. main menu. M-A-I-N space menu with a capital M. Okay, main menu. And this button over here and this button over here. So this one's gonna have a big cross. So hit Shift X. Yeah, like that. So we're gonna click that to exit. And we're gonna tell it actually that it's going to be colored a certain dark red color. And when highlighted becomes strong red. And then when clicked it's gonna be strong red. And the text sure can be as it is. And for the credits, probably leave the colors as they are, and just as the text put a question mark. Yeah. So now, wait, we don't have a menu, so we need to tell the game manager about all of this stuff. So let's put a couple comments for now. Here, type title.
Capital or lowercase?
Yeah, capital is fine. It's a comment, so it doesn't matter. Title. Now let's make another comment and put main menu. So two slashes. There, I got them. Now main menu.
Space.
Yeah. This is English writing. Okay, main menu, and copy this thing. Paste it here and here. And call this one menu. So just lowercase menu. Menu, and call it credits with a capital C. And then copy it, paste it, quit, capital Q. Then copy this, paste it here and here, and this one's gonna be previous with a P, capital P, previous. Yeah, and next. Save. Cool. Okay, so it's not bad. So for the bottom, what we're gonna do is gonna actually delete it, and we're gonna duplicate the top. Use Control D. Rename it to bottom. And for the bottom, we are going to say that this horizontal layout group has quite a bit of padding. So we're gonna go with 400 padding on the left and 400 padding on the right. And the text here will say page, capital P, page, page, and then space 1/5, whatever, right? Something like that. This text probably doesn't need to be quite as large, so let's rename this one to text page, capital P, page, and then we're gonna also make it a bit smaller with maximum size of 60. There we go, right? And on this button over here we can do this text, and on this button over here we can do this text, though I think we're gonna have to introduce icons, but I'm not sure. Now there's quite a bit of room, so we should probably increase this a bit. 500, 500, there, something like that. Now we need to tell the game manager all these buttons. Oh wait, these need to be renamed. So this one's next. This one is previous. Alright, so we've got all of these done. Now instead of going to from the title to gameplay, when you press the button here, change this to menu. There it is. Okay, save. And in the game manager, if it's on the menu, we're gonna need to set up all 4 of these buttons. So copy this, paste it here, paste, paste, and paste. So copy this, paste it here, copy this, paste it here, copy this, paste it here, and copy this, and paste it here. Save. Right, now for our buttons, we've got start game. Let's rename this one. Hit Control R twice. And here type title, lowercase. And then underscore start game. That's it. Okay. Now you're gonna type menu underscore underscore. Now wait. Credits. Alright, type credits. Should be lowercase, but never mind. And then menu underscore quit. Then menu under mene. So you menu underscore previous. And then menu underscore next. Okay, save, Control S. Okay, sounds good. Now let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell the buttons what they are, because they all are start game right now. So this one is previous, this one is next, and at the top this one's credits, and this one's quit. Okay, and now all of them have been assigned a functionality. Now all we need to do is we need to actually connect it. So here you're gonna type case, C-A-S-E, space tab, dot, and the next one we're gonna worry about is quit, for example, break, B-R-E-A-K, semicolon, and here you wanna go application, no, it's two P's, application, dot, quit. There it is. Now there's an important thing, save. If you are on the website, this button shouldn't work. Shouldn't even be there probably. So we're gonna have to worry about some activation or deactivation of the button. Yeah, something worth worrying about later. For now, let's leave it here. So let's see how these menus are working. It should be all correct already. So we start. Okay, there's the menu. Null reference. So we got some errors. Menu credits setup button. Okay. It's not happy. The game manager is not happy. Oh, we forgot to assign them. Button credits, button quit, button previous, button next. And now it knows them all, so it should be perfectly happy. So we made one mistake here. This color's wrong, right? This one's fine though. So that's to quit. So the color for button next needs to be changed. So we're just going to copy this component paste component values, and change this one to next again. And now both of them should be blue. There we go. Okay. So now all that remains to be made is that 6 tile system, and each tile in and of itself is important. Okay. So the middle is going to have a component called grid layout group. This one will allow us to put things in a grid. And the cell size, I don't know at the moment. We're gonna have to find out, but it's certainly not 100. It's way bigger than that. And upper left is fine. Start axis horizontal is fine. We do know the amount of children. Middle center, okay. And constraint flexible, that's fine. So we want, no, constraint fixed column count 3. Right, so let's increase the size of this. 300 by 200. Well, I don't know how big this is. It's kind of misleading now that we have this picture. So let's swap it with a button picture. Hey. Okay, so that'll help us a bit. Just at least understanding how large this needs to be, or this can be. So something like 400 by 300. This may be too much, I think, 250. Okay, now duplicate this big title. Control D, again, 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 again. Okay, stop it here. So let's start with spacing. All right, so we're gonna move them apart 150. And let's start with this spacing. About 80. So 160 and 80. And then we can make them wider. About 460. And there we would have these pictures. So these screens that we have here need to contain the picture, and then medium, like small, medium, and large, and the stars that we got on them. Let me think how that's going to look like, because it's not really that obvious. Perhaps we should do minimum viable product for now for the stars, and it's just 1 star per size. I think that may be better, possibly. Or perhaps just the small, medium, and large buttons would be set up differently. Yeah, that could work. I don't even know if we should have them as buttons. If there should be some other trick we use instead. But it could make it very simple if they just were buttons. One thing that we should also consider is having a lozenge, like a window for our pictures. Maybe it should be similar to these. Okay, so let's go and start with that. Let's open our UI here in GIMP. And there it is. Okay, we are going to let me think. We need to carve a hole into this. So let's go new from visible. Hide these. And we kind of need to carve a hole in here. View, show grid, view, snap to grid, view, snap to canvas edges. So it would be something like this, I think. And then we can drag this over here, except it needs to be further up, about here. And then I'm not going to worry about this because we're going to simply delete stuff. Okay, so there we go, from here to about here, and then from here to about here, and then from here to here, and we cannot, yes we can. Okay, and now we're just gonna copy pasta and revert. And there we go. There's our sort of window thing. Now let's quickly duplicate the button BG. Duplicate this one with window. Just call it window, sorry, my mistake. Window, hit enter. And now we're going to Control-Shift-T to window. And hit Control-S as well here. So now our window, let's quickly check the sprite editor. Yeah, should all be just fine. Cool. So now we can change these, for example, for the window. And then inside them we could fit a picture. So there's going to be a bit of a problem because you see this sort of rounded edge that we've got here? The picture is actually not going to work that way. So that doesn't leave us with a ton of options other than potentially using a shader, which would be a bit complicated for you. If we want to fit... never mind. We should be able to use a mask. So we can probably do this. Yes. Okay, I got it. So, we're going to... we now know these fit, so we can delete this. And we just take the first one over here and change this back to the button. We're going to add a component to this one called mask. Okay, and then you can turn it off. Now inside here we're going to create an image which we are going to call BG, capital B, capital G. Hit enter. Now we're going to fit it to everything with Alt Shift and this button. And this BG we're going to take the lotus. Okay, we're going to preserve aspect. Interesting. So for this we need to remember something. We need a bit more room. So let's leave this at 80, but increase the size on the Y just a bit. There you go. That's pretty good. So 260 or whatever. That's good enough. Right now we need to tell this guy that it needs to be masked. Actually, you see it's masked already. So this thing is sort of cutting it off, so it looks quite elegant. Yeah, 260.5 seems to be the correct amount, or correctish. It's close enough to being correct. Now it's got a BG. Now duplicate BG and call this one lozenge or window, something like that. Window. And we're gonna replace this with a window. We're gonna remove. There we go. And look at how this looks like. It's not that bad, right? Yeah. So I may have one small objection with how this looks like a bit. So let's see if we can display this. Go again, new from visible. Delete this one. hide this one. And let's see if we can redo that work that we've just done. Just with a bit more gray here. Something like this. And I may want to have some black as well, but we'll do it yet with another passage sort of thing. It's with another step. Yeah. So boop, there we go. That's done. Now this can go and Control C, Control V, flip. Control S to save, Control E to export, and there it is. And I think I may want the little black border as well, so let's do that too. So we're now going to display this. Let's go with new from visible again, and delete this one, hide this one, and now all we need is another one of those circles. I don't think I clicked in the middle. Let's go to image, configure grid, and change the grid color to something much more visible, like yellow. And now it'll be much easier for me to click the exact spot. Alright, so there it is. There's one. Now let's drag it down. 2. And now we should be able to delete from here to here. And from here to here, and from here to here, and this. And now I can delete this right side, copy pasta, revert, export. That's not too bad, and bear in mind this is colorable, so we can even give it a color, like that blue that we used for this for the buttons. But the thing is, this is kind of misleading. It's going to lead our players to think that this is a button, and we kind of don't want that. So let's try something else. Do you have a preference? Choose something. It could even just be something very generic, like a very dark blue or something.
Maybe we could do orange or something, because dark blue I can barely see the button.
Like this?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, now inside it we will need those buttons for medium and whatever. So let's hit a create empty, rename this one to buttons with a capital B. Hit enter, and we're gonna fit it all. Okay, something's wrong. So the but what the heck? This one's odd. I'm pressing Control Shift as opposed to Alt Shift. Never mind. Okay, now it fits all of it, the picture. And inside the buttons, let's duplicate the credits button. So hit Control D and drag it into the buttons. Now buttons is, we need to decide whether we want it horizontal or vertical. Yeah, so it's got to be inside the picture, right? So something like SPM, excuse me, SML in English. So call this one small. Yeah, hit enter. Okay, now this is gonna need a vertical layout group. Okay, so just like that.
Okay.
Now this button is going to be this far to the right. Let's just make it flush to the right, like this. And now we decide the width instead. So let's do 100 width, which is the usual width of our buttons. And the position on the X is going to be negative by a certain amount. Let's do -20. And oh, actually, we can probably use the margins, couldn't we? So from the left, from the right. Okay, it doesn't seem to change, so let's do it this way instead. So negative 20 on the x, negative 20 from the top, I suppose 20 from the top, and 20 from the bottom, with a spacing of 20. Now duplicate this button twice. Alright, so you got small, medium, and large. Clearly 100 is too big. Let's make it a bit smaller. I see what the problem is. That's okay. We're gonna go on these 3 buttons and remove this layout element. Okay, that's weird. Okay, that's much better. Let's fix them now. So the buttons, we said we want them to be smaller. There you go. So they look more or less like a circle. 6. Okay. And if this one says S and this one says M and this one says L. Okay, now all of these texts are too big, so we're gonna go down to a maximum width of maximum size of 32, and it also feels to me like they're too low, so we're gonna move them up a bit. -6, and by the way, I think this applies to every button, so let's go to every button there is and move the stuff to -6. So we're gonna go to the quit button and the credits button, grab them both, top -6. Cool. Now at the bottom, previous and next, -6 from the top, and then button start, -6 from the top. Okay, there we go. And now I have these buttons over here. I'm still not too happy with them. I think the bottom needs more room. 30 probably. Yeah, something like that. Maybe 26 from the top, 20, and the spacing can be 10. 15, sure. Okay, now rename this one to medium. And large, capital L. Small, medium, and large. Okie doke. So they're all blue or green, and then we should probably modify some things later, but we'll worry about that at another time. So, what else are we gonna need? Well, we need these buttons to have functionality. So menu underscore level underscore S. Y capital, I'm not sure, but that's okay. Copy, paste, paste. And this one is large, and this one is medium. Save. Okay. Small, medium, and large. And when you press case tab, space tab, case space tab dot S break semicolon. Save. Something will happen. Copy this entire thing, paste it, paste it. M L. Save. Okay, small, medium, and large. These are all fine. Now, there is another thing that worries me, and that is when you're here selecting one of these three buttons, it needs to be clear that like this needs to be set up so this entire object over here, the pick title here, which is obviously wrong, needs to be called something. So let's call this one menu level with a capital L, level, hit enter. And let's actually rename it to level_0. Okay, now I want you to duplicate it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So this one becomes 1, this one becomes 2, this one becomes 3, 4, and 5. And each of these needs to have a certain each of these needs to have. Why do I get stuck like a mold? I can't remember what I was going to say. It needs to have its own script. Cell space is fine. This is fine. So the middle, I think. No, something's off. Wait a moment. I think we can probably increase the size of these to better occupy the room we've got. So let's use 500. Let's reduce the amount of space to 60. Let's reduce the amount of this space to 80. And let's increase the Y a bit. 300. And let's increase the X a bit. 550. There. That's looking pretty decent. One thing I still want to try is see if this can be 60. This can be 60 also. Okay. I don't like these buttons. They need to be reduced. So one thing we're gonna do now is we're gonna create a prefab out of this. So in our prefabs, we're gonna drag this thing over here. Let's rename it to simply level. Already done. Okay, now we're gonna delete these. And now we can go and edit the prefab itself. That's not really gonna help us. We need to do it directly here and then we're going to apply. So these buttons, they need to have more space in between them, I think. Yeah, so let's go with 25. Right, and now we're gonna tell it override apply. Okay, now you can duplicate this one another 5 times. Okay, that's it. Play and check. Yeah, okay, these buttons are a bit better now. They don't work yet, but you know, we're starting to get somewhere with this. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's rename these again to 1, 2, okay, so we got all of these. Let's give this a save. Yeah, they're gonna need a script. So in here, let's create a new script, which we're gonna call level with a capital L. And we're gonna let's keep a level, but we're also gonna create a level button. So level button. No spaces, capital B button. Okay, now level button is going to go onto this level over here. And we're gonna drag the button to the top. Okay, and now we can open it. And we'll worry about the level script later, to the point where I'd rather delete it now. Okay, so here's the level button. Save. So this one's gonna need access to the 3 buttons for small, medium, and large, right? So you're gonna say public custom button, so space custom button. It's here. Hit tab. Custom button, and you can call, actually let's make it an array, and this will be called size buttons. Lowercase s, lowercase I as well. Oh, you have caps lock on. Size buttons. Button is a semicolon. Save. This means that the custom button, when it's being set up though, it's kind of going to have a problem. We're going to need an extra piece of information somewhere. Here, type private. Yeah, space. Now, do you remember how numbers are? What's the variable type for numbers? For whole numbers?
I don't remember.
It's short for integer. So what's it gonna be? Int, that's right. Int, so space. And you're gonna call this one, let's call it ID.
Both capital?
No, both lowercase. Semicolon. And here you're gonna request an int space ID underscore ID and give it a default value of -1. So it's gonna receive -1 as its default ID. And here say ID equals underscore ID. Semicolon. Save. Now this is gonna be very important because how will the computer know which of these, wait a second, it's still loading, which of these are you pressing, right? Because each of them is related to its specific level, right? So at the moment all of them have the same picture, but that's something will change, right? But each of them is related to a specific level. So it's important for us that we know when we press S on the second picture that we want the second level, not the first level, right? So each of the buttons is going to be able to receive an ID and save it. So we're saving it here when we're setting it up, and that's just fine. Now we got the buttons. Now we said we also need an image. Wait a moment, I'm wondering if we could, do you know what? Let's change this to private. Yeah. And let's also create a private. Okay, now this is gonna cry because it's missing some libraries. So we're gonna need this one, copy this one, paste it here, and now you have access to image. So image, private image, no, just private, no, image, there it is, hit tab, space, and call this one pic, P-I-C, semicolon, save. Okay, we're also going to need an ID. So here you can say private int ID. Semicolon. Save. And here you're gonna have a public void space setup level button, capital S, setup level button. Button, capital B. Yeah, open a round bracket, request an int underscore ID. Yeah, you forgot a space. In space underscore ID. Close the round bracket, open a squiggle, hit enter twice and close it. So this means, save, that every time you set up a level button, it requires to receive this ID. And then it's going to say ID equals underscore ID, semicolon. So we save it. Underscore ID.
Space. And then
Underscore ID. It'll fix itself. Semicolon. See, fixed itself. Then we're gonna say that we need to find the pick. Okay, so we're gonna say pick equals. And now we're gonna have to go through this menu as we usually do. So it's we start here. So we go transform.find. This is the picture with the car. So transform.find bg get component image. Try it. Yeah, look up every now and then to see if the word is already there. Yeah, so transform.find
dot.
No, open round, open quote, both capitals BG, close quote. You open an apostrophe, not a quote. It's shift to that. Now close the quote, close the round, dot, get component, look up, open an of type,
No type.
of type bracket, open an of type bracket. No, that's a square bracket. That's a squiggly bracket. One of these. Image. Close it. No. Yes. Open, close around, semicolon. Save. Now, you know, right, that there are 3 buttons for the custom button, right? There are 3 buttons, S, M, and L. So copy size buttons, paste it, space equals, new, space, tab, square bracket, open, 3, the number, yeah, close the square bracket, open a squiggly bracket, hit enter twice and close it, and you need a semicolon as well at the end. Okay, now in here we're gonna tell it which ones are buttons and where to find them. So you need to go transform.find, wait, look, transform.find buttons / button underscore small, and then get the component. So it's gonna be something like this. So copy this. No, actually, I'm sorry. Copy, undo, stop holding control.
I already stopped.
Thanks. So copy this, paste it here. Copy custom button, paste it here. Copy this entire thing, and now say comma paste, comma paste. Alright, so we said it's not BG, it's what?
Buttons.
Yeah, so you need to start typing that. Yeah, and then / like this. And what's the next? Copy.
Small.
Copy button small. Paste it here. Copy all of this. Paste it here and here. And here you need to change this word for
Medium.
Yep. And the last one, large. Yeah, okay doke. So now we have all 3 buttons. Now we also need to set them up. It's pretty important. So we're gonna say copy size buttons, paste it, square button 0, so that's the small one, dot, set up button, and we feed it an ID, our own ID, so just ID, close round, semicolon. Now, this code is going to be the same for all 3 buttons, right? So that means we can do a loop. So hit 4, tab, tab, and the length is the length of the size buttons, so copy this, paste it, dot length, cut this, put it in here, and replace the 0 with an I. Save. So now all of the buttons will be set up. Save again. Okay.
Okay.
Now for now we're simply going to cheat for the buttons, and where we press the button, if it's small, medium or large, we're just gonna change the size though. That we're gonna do correctly. So let's go here to our gameplay. Actually no, we don't want this in gameplay, we want this in the menu. So let's create a new region. So here put shift 3 region. There it is, hit tab, space, and call this one main menu. This one is English, you can type it normally. Yep. And now close the region, so shift 3, end region. There it is, one down, there. Okay, so inside this region we're gonna say public void it will be start level with a capital S. Open around, and we're gonna require an int ID, space ID, which level you want to start, and then comma, space, int, space size. Close the round. Open a squiggly, hit enter twice, close it, save. Alright, now before we can continue we need to create the levels, and we don't really have the rules for the levels, meaning we only have one sprite for which picture we want, the puzzle sprite, but we do not know which one we're interested in. Okay, so this we're gonna change it to private, so we can't see it in the thing. But what we're going to have is we're going to have a public sprite array, and this one will be level sprites or level pics. That's better, yeah. So let's go level pics, semicolon, save. Now we're gonna say that we're going to assign the puzzle sprite based on the ID. So copy puzzle sprite, yeah, and paste it here, equals, copy level pics, paste it here, square bracket ID. So that's one thing, save. Now we're gonna need the sizes. Okay, so our normal size, we have an X count and a Y count. Okay, so we're gonna keep these, but we're gonna create we're gonna make them private both. So copy this, Paste it here and here. And here what you're gonna do is you're gonna say public space vector2 int. There it is. Hit tab. Array. And this one's gonna be level sizes. Because we can have multiple level sizes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sizes, semicolon. Save. And here we're gonna say x count. X count, there it is, hit tab, equals level sizes there it is, yeah, hit tab, square bracket, size, close the square bracket, semicolon. Now it's missing something because it's a vector 2, we need to tell it we want the x. So copy this, you need to do the y now, paste it. So what needs to change?
The x here.
This goes to y, anything else?
Yes, this.
Okay, that one goes to y, save. Alright, so we've done the first bit. The second bit is changing the game state to gameplay. So all we gotta do is copy change game state, paste it here, open a round bracket, tab, dot, gameplay, close round, semicolon, save. Alright, we're almost ready. Now, what we need to do is inside our custom button, here, we need to say game manager dot script, so copy this, paste it here, dot, and it's gonna be start level, I believe. There it is, start level. And then you're going to open a round bracket. You're going to feed it your own ID, so just say ID, comma, and the size, because this is small, is going to be 0. Save. Now you can copy all of this, paste it on medium, paste it on large. What do we need to change on medium? We're sending the ID and the size, right? So we sent ID,
So
our
I
own.
guess this needs to be a 1 and this needs to be a 2.
Yeah, so that put a 1 and that a 2. Control S to save. Okay, we're almost there. Now, we just need to do a few assignments, I think. So we're gonna open the prefab. So it opens its special thing here. Actually, do we need a prefab at all? No, I don't think so. But we're gonna have to modify the game manager. Okay, so we're actually not almost done. We're getting there though. So the pictures for now, let's put 6. I think we have 6. If we don't, we're gonna add 1. Pictures, family, please, whatever. So game manager, I'm gonna lock it here so it doesn't go away. Here's the Elise. And miscellaneous, no, we only have 3. So for now I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna give another Elise and then another Elise here at the end, okay? So you're gonna get Elise, ship, spider, tulips, Elise, Elise. That's what we will get, okay?
Okay.
For now. And for the level sizes, we're gonna say 3 and we're gonna say 4 horizontal, 3 vertical. The largest one is 16 horizontal, 9 vertical. Okay, and so I suppose we should have 8 horizontal and 6 vertical. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so that should work. Something's a bit off though, because this one is double the previous one, but this one's not double the previous one. So the distance time, this is squared, this one's squared too. What's between 4 and 16? The average would be 10. Yeah, so let's go with 10 instead. Would 10 work though? Let's check. So we need to remember that our picture is specifically divided in pixels, and the pixels horizontally are 1080. Divided by 10, will it fit? Yes, 108 pixels per quadrant, so we'll be okay. Okay, so that's perfect. We've prepared all of this and it's ready, but there's one last thing we need to do, which is every time we enter the menu, we need to actually set up all of the level buttons, which means the game manager needs to know the level buttons. So here you can say public space capital level button. There it is, hit tab. Call these level buttons. Wait, oh, sure, we forgot the array. Put an S, semicolon, save. Level buttons. Now every time we change the game state to the menu, we need to set up the level buttons. So here you can say for tab, copy level buttons, paste it, dot length, so we go through the length of the level buttons, paste level buttons, again, square bracket I, dot set up level button, and for the ID we're going to give it I for now. Save. Because remember we have different pages, so it's going to be a bit more complex than this, but for now this should work. And I don't remember if there's anything else that needs to be done, so let's quickly take a look. Nope, this one's done. Okay, sounds good, should all be working. So now as soon as we go to the menu, all of the things should work. Aha, we forgot to set up the pictures because we're potatoes. We need to say pick dot sprite equals game manager dot script. There it is, hit tab, dot s, hit tab, dot level, I think we call them, so just lev, L-E-V, there it is, level pix, square bracket ID, close square bracket, save. Alright, test again. I think we forgot to tell it where they are. Yes, ma'am. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hit play. Hit start. And there they are. See, we have our little pictures here, and these buttons are all clickable, it looks like. So let's try on small. Not working. Alright, let's find out why. So we're looking at this button, which is set up as menu credits. That's our answer. So let's go to the prefab, go to the small button, and change it to menu level S, menu level M, menu level L. And it should have changed it here, and it has. So let's hit play, try again, start, small, 4x3. Okay, there's still no way to exit that stuff, but that's okay. Let's try now this one on medium, 10x6. They're all little squares. Okay, and now let's try again on large, something like the spider. Oof, this one's gonna be difficult. Holy moly, this is hard. Right?
Zoe says she's going to try hard if she plays the game.
Uh-huh. Good luck to you. Yeah, this is difficult. Right, I don't, so I think this is gonna be here or here. Yeah, so this is
Still
gonna.
haven't made the stars yet.
Which stars?
the star thing that you were talking about. The one with the 1 star that you get if you...
Yeah, well, I don't know if we'll do that. We have very little time. So we may need to cut that bit. There. Okay, I'm finally finding some parts of this poor spider. So this is a fairly difficult puzzle, and I'm sure that the whole abdomen is in the wrong place, so it's all gonna have to be shifted. Right? It's pretty substantial work here to get the spider done. But there we go. Alright, so that's not too bad. It's working. All of the buttons are working. Everything's fine. So for now, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time when we're going to do some other stuff that, it's probably the stars in the saving system. And then there's also the text parsing system. We need to worry about that too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.